In the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you what carbs, fats, and proteins you need in your pantry to not only eat healthy, but to eat for weight loss. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brant Bermudez. I'm the owner of Nutrition First Coaching, where we work with couples to help them build a structure around their lives so that they can be healthy and fit for their family. Now, when I talk to these couples, quite often I get the question, what's the most important thing for our journey to be successful? And honestly, it comes down to the environment. The environment is the number one factor. So if you set your pantry up like we're going to talk about in this video, then you will set yourself up to be successful. And when they ask me what to get in these three categories in their carbs, fats, and proteins, I tell them this exact list. And if you want a detailed list with recipes of things you can make for yourself, things you can have on hand that simplify making healthy foods, then just shoot me a little text or an emoji or something below and let me know you want me to send that over to you. Now, it doesn't have to be an opt-in. I don't need your email, anything like that. Just say, I'm interested in getting this healthy pantry list, and I will send you over this article I wrote that details everything and even gives you a checklist of what to have in your pantry. Because one of my main goals is giving people usable, functional content that they can walk away with and they can apply to their lives today. All right, let's get into the video. All right, number one on our pantry checklist are carbohydrates. Now, if you're doing all the right stuff in the gym, you're putting in the effort, you're doing things around the house, you're lifting, you're moving things around the garage, you're putting things in the shed, you're bending, hinging, squatting, pressing, pulling things, you're an athlete. Whether you qualify yourself as one or not, you need to be able to move and do those things, and carbohydrates kind of our main fuel for doing those things. Now, this is also the most frustrating one for people because so many packaged things contain so many empty calories that are carbohydrate based. And that's where having the right carbs in your pantry can be really challenging. So let's go over some of my favorite ones here. I'm going to kind of read our list. Oats, dried fruits, just be careful with a lot of calorie content. Pastas, granola and trail mixes, honey, maple syrup, potatoes, baking mixes. And I just wrote a few of those down. That doesn't even include canned vegetables, canned beans, which we'll talk about with our proteins as well. All kinds of lentils, you name it, there's all kinds of things. Now, when we're talking some of the healthier ones, let's look at pasta. So we got some cauliflower-based pasta, or, we got some chickpea pasta as well. It's trying to escape. So better options than just your durum wheat, kind of, especially if you don't process wheat well, which a lot of us don't, and they're pretty processed foods. Sure, you're still going to get some carbohydrates out of these, but you're going to get more protein. You're going to get a little bit more fiber out of these. Some of your lentils, these are one of my favorites. You can heat them up. Yeah, there's quite a bit of sodium in here, so you got to be a little bit careful with that. But you got a lot of beans in there. All kinds of different granolas and trail mixes. You can make your own. I have a recipe for that in the giveaway if you want one. Oh, there's my puppy coming by. A lot of canned things, canned garbanzo beans, any kind of beans. I'm also a big fan of like different greens powders. This one in particular is a moringa, which is like a vegetable powder. And then we also got like all of our oats. Go for like steel cut, or you can go for some of the healthier packets of whole rolled oats. These are a new obsession at our house with some of these like to make. See, Maui's already interested in these too. Here, you want to say hi to everybody? Come here. Come here. Oh, here's our big girl. This is Maui. It's probably be my most popular video ever. Oh, she's looking outside. Very excited. Then we also got some honey. That's always a good one. And this is actually something I'm trying, flapjack. It's a protein pancake mix. But also in my guide, if you want to pick that up, shoot me a little message below. Send it over to you, no strings attached. But I also have the way to make your own kind of protein baking mix, minimal to moderate carbohydrates in there, but a healthy way to kind of put your own together so you're not spending so much money on something like this. Be particular about your carbs. They're the ones that tend to fill up people's pantry with a lot of junk, and we don't want a lot of junk. All right, thanks for watching. Let's get on to the next tip. All right, what should you have in your pantry when it comes to protein? Well, this one will baffle a lot of people, but man, it's gotten so much easier in the past few years. I remember going hiking and taking like cans of tuna fish and heavy things that you don't want to carry with you. That's when they came up with these guys, amazing tuna creations. You know, these 1 pack, and you're gonna get 13 grams of protein from them. You know, this one's a flavored one. This one's just in some extra virgin olive oil, 18 grams of protein. These are fantastic. You can also get chicken flavors with those, or chicken packets. This one may gross some people out because they just don't understand it, but sardines, super healthy, usually in great fats. Like this one's in an extra virgin olive oil. It's actually good calcium in these and tons of good protein. When you're really in a pinch, these are in your desk, even at work. You throw these on some greens, mix it up into a salad. Great, delicious, great meal. Keep you on track. Again, we got canned things, some salmon, some chicken here. You can make a lot of stuff with those. Of course, my go-tos are jerkies. So this is a turkey jerky one from Costco. It's 10 grams of protein. Yeah, it's got some carbohydrates with it, but man, it tastes delicious. Here's another one that's a Trader Joe's one. It's got less carbs in general with it. Still tastes pretty darn good. I like the turkey options because they're like, this is actually no fat at all. That's crazy. And then I always think that you need to have something when it comes to protein bars. These are the, you know, kind of last chance go-tos, but keep them from being like adult candy bars. Try to keep it into just a protein bar for yourself. This is a Legion protein bar. We're talking 20 grams of protein. It's got 24 grams of carbs, but 9 grams of fiber. So really, we're talking 15 grams of net carbs there and just 3 grams of added sugar. So not much sugar in here for what you're getting for the protein bar. Tastes very delicious. So protein powders, I didn't even bring however many containers of that I have in. Those are great. You can add those to yogurts, of course, smoothies, you know, ready to go protein. I suggest a good whey. A whey isolate's going to be even better and more isolated protein in there. Our canned fish, meats, jerkies, lentils, and beans, when you start to combine those carbs and proteins together, you know, you can have those guys in dried form, in cans, whatever. They're super easy protein sources. You just got to be careful how much carbs you want with them. All right, that's number 2. That's what proteins to have in your pantry. All right, what fats do you want in your pantry? Now this may be a little confusing for some of these, and probably when to put them into things is even more confusing, but think of fats as flavorings. They're really calorically dense. They're gonna make things taste really good. We just don't need a lot of it. And even though it kind of got a bad name, being fat, dietary fat turns into body fat a little easier. They're similar chemical makeup, and it's just easier for our body to store fat as fat. Okay, enough of that confusing point. But let's talk about the good things to have in there. Nut butters, almond butters. I even have one that's like a mixture of a bunch of different ones. This is a PB2, so it's like a powdered peanut butter flavor kind of thing. 5 grams of protein per 2 tablespoons. Not a lot of fat in there, 1.5 grams, and a little bit of carbs, but some fiber as well. And then you're also getting 45 calories, so that keeps the calories a little bit lower, but can give you some flavoring. EVOO, that's what that means down there, is extra virgin olive oil. And get it cold pressed, extra virgin. Should be a glass dark bottle. That's a really great, flavorful. You can get some delicious olive oils if you go for the good quality stuff. It's totally worth it. This one actually is something I just found at Costco, and it's a avocado MCT and chia oil. So I thought that was kind of interesting. They call it an all-purpose cooking oil. Avocado has a little higher flash point. You know, I still probably keep a lot of that relatively raw. I don't like to cook with a lot of that stuff. For that, I use just butter, ghee, a little more saturated fats in there. They're way more stable with heat. And then probably the one that gets people a lot, nuts and seeds. They're a fat. There's not much protein in nuts and seeds. This is I would say unsalted, go for that, mixed nuts. So we're talking 15 grams of fat for 1 ounce of these and only 5 grams of protein. So 3-to-1 fat to protein. In my book, that's considered a fat over a protein with 7 grams of carbs and 2 grams of fiber. So 5 net grams of carbs there too. And then one that people kind of forget about sometimes too is, we have just good old-fashioned olives in a can. These are great. Throw them on different things, salads, pizzas, whatever you want. They're basically a little fat, 1.5 grams of fat, basically nothing else, some sodium, and 1 gram of carb with 1 gram of fiber. So basically just the fiber that's in them. You can get good brands, good varieties of these. So look out for those good fats to have in there. Ghee's another one that I didn't have. It's a clarified butter. You can keep that shelf stable. And even the good grass-fed butters, those can sit out. They're room temperature stable as well, and coconut oils. So lots of good fats. Use them for flavoring. Use them for health, but be careful of their caloric content. And then I hope you got a lot out of this video. If you want the checklist and you want the full article with different recipes for baking mixes and protein mixes and trail mixes and some different stuff in there, just send me a little message below. Even just put it in the comments. See how many people we can get commenting on some of this stuff. Nice usable content. And then I'll send you over this great article. It's a nice checklist with it. It'll be something to really have in your pantry. It'll be a good stable for your pantry to have and be able to look through and know what you got in there, so that it's good, healthy stuff that's going to drive you to health and good body composition. All right, thanks for listening. Leave me comments below. Send you over that nice little giveaway, no strings attached. I hope you have a great week.